strong in light, trading dreams from dusk till dawn. In this game we're never gone. Rising trade times in your head, feel the rush, control the land. Essential Traders University, our guide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. Market's tide. Coffee sips, a market twist. Watching numbers, that's the gist. City lights or mountain peaks. Trading gives us what we seek. Rise and trade times in your head. Feel the rush, control the land. Essential Traders University, our guide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. Coffee sips, a market twist. Watching numbers, that's the gist. City lights or mountain peaks. Trading gives us what we seek. Rise and trade times in your head. Feel the rush, control the land. Essential Traders University, our guide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. It's tight, laughing at the 9 to 5. We're alive, we thrive, we dive. Globetrotting with every trade. Our path, our rules we made. Laptop open, make the call. Win or lose, we take it all. From the charts, create our fate. Thankful for this trading state. Market's tide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. City lights or mountain peaks. Trading gives us what we seek. Rise and trade times in your head. Feel the rush, control the land. Essential Traders University, our guide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. It's tight, laughing at the 9 to 5. We're alive, we thrive, we dive. Globetrotting with every trade. Our path, our rules we made. Laptop open, make the call. Win or lose, we take it all. From the charts, create our fate. Thankful for this trading state. It's tight. Rising trade times in your hand. Feel the rush, control the land. Essential Traders University, our guide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. Coffee sips, a market twist. Watching numbers, that's the gist. City lights or mountain peaks. Trading gives us what we seek. Rise and trade times in your hand. Feel the rush, control the land. Essential Traders University, our guide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. Coffee sips, a market twist. Watching numbers, that's the gist. City lights or mountain peaks. Trading gives us what we seek. Rise and trade times in your hand. Feel the rush, control the land. Essential Traders University, our guide. Freedom flows with the market's tide. Tide. Laughing at the 9 to 5. We're alive, we thrive, we dive. Globetrotting with every trade. Our path, our rules we made. Laptop open, make the call. Win or lose, we take it all. From the charts, create our fate. Thankful for this trading state.
Trading dreams and blue sky ties. Pushing numbers till they sing. Golden wings to freedom swing.
Charts and graphs like starry skies. Learning where the treasure lies. Essential wisdom in our hands. Traders turn to make a stand. Financial freedom spreads its wings. Echoes softly as it brings liberty in every trade. Fortunes made and debts all laid. Candlesticks like midnight stars. Every trade a brand new start. With each click the world will change. Boundless joy we can arrange. Knowledge from the best we seek. Whispers of success we speak. Guided by our mentor's light. Trading till the morning's bright. Wisdom carved in ancient codes. Find the secrets on these roads. Every gain and every loss. Pay the price and flip the toss. Fortunes made and debts are laid.
Candlesticks like midnight stars. Every trade a brand new start. With each click the world we change, boundless joy we can arrange. In the morning light we rise, trading dreams and blue sky ties. Pushing numbers till they sing, golden wings to freedom swing.
Charts and graphs like starry skies, learning where the treasure lies. Essential wisdom in our hands, traders turn to make a stand. Financial freedom spreads its wings, echoes softly as it brings liberty in every trade. Fortunes made and debts are laid. Candlesticks like midnight stars, every trade a brand new start. With each click the world will change, boundless joy we can arrange. Knowledge from the best we seek, whispers of success we speak. Guided by our mentor's light, trading till the morning's bright. Wisdom carved in ancient codes, find the secrets on these roads. Every gain and every loss, pay the price and flip the toss.
Yo, what's poppin', y'all? What's poppin'? Oh, let me turn off. Alright, there we go. Alright, it's been a minute. I feel like since I streamed, it's probably like only 3 days, but how's everyone doing? How's everybody doing? I'm gonna go over today why I was short bias and all of that. I'm gonna give some people a few more minutes to join. But while we go over that, there's another thing I want to mention, which is now for those people that are in the course. So if you're in the course right now, or maybe you want to join, you now get access to I decided to just basically release the trading journal for you guys. All right, so you get access to a free trading journal now, along with the purchase of the course. And this trading journal, it's not just your ordinary trading journal. This trading journal also includes access to the past 630 trades I've taken live. So you'll be able to see the reason behind every single trade I take. And the reason why I decided to just include it was because I kind of expanded my Discord recently in terms of the content and value provided in the course. And so we have a lot more channels now, and we have a trading journal session in the course. And I realized that you know, if I want to get people profitable faster, I think just giving out the journal for free will probably help you out. That are in the course. The course is quite extensive. There's a lot of stuff that gets covered in the course, but I do think that will help out a lot of people. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. And you know, yeah, y'all get access to the free training journal now. So everyone check your WAP. It should be within your WAP. Let me know if you don't see it, but it should be in there. So just click in your WAP. It should be like under integrations or apps. And then there's a link to the private training journal. Again, you just do file, make a copy, so you can make your own copy of the journal. And then you also get access, of course, to all the trades I took. So you have those two things for you, and that would definitely help you out, I think, for you guys, especially if you're new to the course and need some guidance. So there's that. So I'll post in the chat to let everybody know too that you do get access to that. There's no promo code for the course at the moment. I decided to just make it so that it's the lowest price. So right now the price currently listed is the lowest price you'll get it at. Instead of having the course at $5.99, including everything, I decided to $5.99 with the code. I decided to just make it $4.99 and no code. So that probably will save people time. Because I was thinking some people that may not recognize or join the streams may not realize there's a code for the course. So I was just like, you know what, to make it simpler for all you guys for checkout reasons, I'll just reduce the price, right? And then no code. Let me run a poll real quick for y'all too. Here, I'll send you guys the link to the course if you're new and want to check it out and see if it's a fit for you. I'm gonna set up a poll today to ask you guys how well you guys traded. All right. We'll start the poll here. I'm not going to include break even. Break even is a little complicated, so you're either going to vote your green or you're going to vote your red. And today, longs are not very interesting or not intriguing to me. And I'll go over real quick why today. But this is what I call out to the course members as well. If you're in the course, I have a new dedicated channel now where I literally post my bias, draw on liquidity, what I'm looking for every single day in the JTrade's execution channel. And basically, yeah, I basically called out around 10 o'clock here. You guys want to see it? We're here. So I said around 10:06 that I'm looking for shorts. I'm seeing a lot of more downside today than upside. Even though we are trading at all-time highs, I was aware that we already took out the 4-hour and we can come back for a 4-hour retracement. Therefore, I said, you know what? We're looking for shorts today. So people that are trying to long today, if you were long today the whole day, you probably ended red. But if you just took my advice of going for shorts only, you would have ended green today. So we have one vote of one red. So we have 5 people in here right now. So we'll see what the end result is. But I'm sure if you were counter trading today, trying to long, you probably would have ended red. Unless you scalp today, then I think you can actually end green. But without a proper scalping strategy, you would have ended red too. Also, join the free Discord, guys, because we're doing I'm doing 2 events. Okay. So the first event is on Saturday. I'm going to be doing a free event to everyone in the Discord. in the free community calls section. I'm gonna see if I have time to make a Miro board. If I don't, we'll just go over student trades and improvise. But if I do have time to make the Miro board, I'll make that. We'll go over my exact trades taken this week, reviewing students trades, and then checking in, and it'll be like a Q&A section like that. And then the second thing is we're doing a giveaway of a lot. It's a big giveaway. So I'll announce the specific details later on how you can enter and such once we reach there. But 250 members right now away from a massive free giveaway. Oh, I'll send the also stream thing to the chat. I'm gonna make another poll for you guys to see what you guys are feeling, but I can only start one poll at a time. All right, I'll keep the how'd you trade today poll up for now. But let's see how the course members did today. We have, so in terms of free members today, one of our free members ended red. Free members as in people not in the course that were just in the Discord. And then the other person that voted was Brian in the course. He said he ended green today. Nice job, Brian. You guys want to check the poll results, it's in the Discord. So if you just join there, you'll see everyone's results of how they traded today. I have to refresh this real quick. There you go. Let's see what price. So price missed the 5-minute. I think it's the 15-minute. Yeah. See, it's the POC. So price kind of hit the POC basically here, and now that's why we went lower. We haven't hit the 1 hour quite yet. It got really close. Sometimes in the market, it's not going to be entirely perfect. We could like edge POIs, and that's when you just like miss the trade. But again, that's just something you'll recognize and notice, man. Not much you could do in those situations. It's more so of just a probabilities game. So you always want to have this probability based mindset when you're trading, because with an edge, the rest is all psychology. If you want, you can take a risky short here with the OB entry model, if you get that. That's what I'm seeing right now. And if you're still trading, we missed the 5-minute barely. Or if you take the IFG, you'd be in profit right now. So for those that don't know, that are not in the course, this is just a 15-minute mitigation right here off the buy to sell. That's why we went lower here. You can wait for the OB retracement, or you're already in this trade here in profit right now. I don't really see too much else because I'm really not interested in going long, dude. Longs, unless you're scalping, is just not a good idea. Because like I said, the 4 hours looking for lower pricing. So the 4 hours looking for lower pricing, what does that tell you on the 1 minute or lower time frame? Price is likely to be expanding to the downside. It's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be manipulation 1, manipulation 2. You know, I even post an announcement to the free Discord too. Let them know that. Hold on, I gotta turn on my ring light because it's really dark in here. I just realized. Damn, price might miss us here. If you guys took the IFEG entry, you're in this short. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna miss this short unless it comes back on us. It's about a 30 bar range. It just sucks because it missed a 5 minute barely. I usually like to go off 5 minute, 1 minute. But obviously in this case, the buy to sell worked here. And this makes sense because this is the 5 minutes. This is literally a 5 minute stop hunter setup. If you know, you know. So you can also use that as your entry model here. We'll see if we can take out the lows here. We missed a 1 hour POI like by a tick earlier. But yeah, you can see this is just manipulation, and this move here is just manipulation because there's no real POIs that price hit. I'm gonna go over my short today. Okay, there's something that happened with my trade that I'm gonna go over. It's a pretty rare thing, but it happened to me today. So I'll explain it real quick on stream. This does not apply if you're trading fund accounts. For those that don't know, I trade a personal account, so liquidity and such is different for me. But essentially, I got filled higher on my longs today. I just used my limit. I had a limit order. I kind of FOMO'd into this trade, the short. But this kind of just shows you guys that drawing liquidity is, in context and trading is more important than like any entry model that anyone teaches you ever, right? Like yes, the entry model matters. Confirmation does matter in trading, but you have to keep in mind if that's all it took to become profitable, you would have majority of people would already have a programmed robot to do that for them. But that's just not the case. All right, let's see if the ring light here works real quick, not falls over. All right. The camera should be much better now. But basically today, for some reason, when I got filled on my short, for those that don't know, we had 10 a.m. news today. It was not red folder news. I was a little bit surprised because the candle kind of looked like a red folder, but yeah, it was an orange folder news. I actually was not really aware of this news. I usually kind of filter it just based on red. I just missed the orange folder news today, so that's definitely that's a fatal mistake on my end, because that's very important to know, especially if you're trading a real account. If you're trading like a demo account, or if you're trading like fun accounts, I mean, this doesn't really matter too much. You'll get filled. If it hits your stop loss here, you'll get filled basically at your stop because it's a demo environment. But if you're trading like a live personal account like me, that's just not the case. I got slipped, I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday. And today, the opposite happened. So these are things you guys would not know unless you've traded a personal account before. And I think these are important lessons to be aware of and recognize, or understand at least, if you do decide to go trade live. But basically, what happened was I got filled here a little bit higher than where my limit order is. Again, this is a trade I didn't really want to show because this is not a good trade. Even though it played out, this is not a good trade. This is not the right setup. The right setup would be waiting for that internal sweep above where I marked the internal sweep and taking that entry, because that's one of the entry models I teach you guys to trade, right? This right here is a very aggressive entry model that I do tell you guys about, but I highly recommend you not trade it. So that is a mistake that I made today, hence why it later swept the high, which is 100% valid. It makes sense. A lot of people that don't know how to trade, what they do instead is you'll see them taking longs. They're going to anticipate this as a breakout, change of character, whatever ICT teaches you guys. I only watched a little bit of him, but they'll be taking these longs here, and you'll get stopped out taking longs, not understanding that the 4 hours is trying to expand bearish. That's why if you guys are using the bias I tell you guys in the course chat, you'll have a much higher win rate. Okay. So I'm just giving you my experience for free to help you guys when you're trading live. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I do want you guys to also learn how to trade yourself and not just rely on quote unquote signals. But you guys can see how I have my stop right above that high, and it did not stop me out. So this is something I think on prop firms you'll probably get stopped out because this is a demo environment. It should just fill you at that exact price. But on a live account, sometimes you either get slipped. So sometimes you either get slipped where you take a -2R loss here, or number two potential situation is that in this case, this is the opposite happened to me here on my live account. And so essentially what happened was we got new votes. So we have 2 people green today. Nice. Who ended green today? Who ended green today? 2 people ended green and 1 person ended red. All right. All right. Looking good. Looking good. If 90% of traders fail and we have 50-50 results in here, that's good. But essentially my stop loss disappeared. So for those that have traded live accounts, you probably have experienced this same thing before. But there are times like if you get a massive candle because of liquidity issues, I don't know. No one knows exact liquidity reasons, right, in the market. I'm not a market maker, but the people that are responsible for that, apparently my stop loss got removed. So when I got entered here, instead of entering me at this price, I got entered like around here for my sell order. And then instead of getting stopped out here, my stop loss disappeared. I didn't look up, and they might have moved it like up here, but for some reason my stop loss disappeared. And so since it disappeared, I never got stopped out of this trade. They made equal highs here. I don't trade equal highs, but basically never took out that high there. I think if you were trading on a different chart, it might have SMTs. There's SMTs between NQ and ES, and there's also SMTs between micro and mini, for those that don't know. The micro and mini thing, it's an SMT technically, but it's just something you want to be aware of. Hence why I tell you guys to give your stop loss a bit more wiggle room in your trades so that doesn't happen to you, because you don't want to be that guy where you take a perfect trade just to get stopped out by a tick or 2 ticks even. That's just like very unfortunate. You don't want that happening to you. And you know, I pray that doesn't happen to any of y'all. It's going to happen at some point. It is what it is. That's how trading works. That's the probabilities of the game. As long as you can keep yourself thinking in probabilities whenever you take a trade, that's good. Like, you're not always going to buy low, sell high in the market. There's times where I buy high, sell higher. Times where I sell low, or sell low, buy lower. That makes sense. And a lot of people preach this buy high, sell low thing, but it only works until it doesn't work. Like, for example, if you're trying to do that while the 4 hours is expanding lower and you're on the 1 minute, you're going to get cooked. I'm telling you now, you're going to get cooked. I mean, you clearly saw today that you would have got cooked, right? So I think that's what a lot of you guys probably had a problem with. Also, one more thing, which is that, what was I going to say? Saro-san said, I waited for the break of candle and took on demo. I even got slipped on demo. It took like 10 seconds for it to clear. It was not a good trade because it was gambling to me, but FOMO. Took a 2R. I didn't want to risk more. Gotcha. Oh, you said you took an impulse model there, I guess. See, the right entry model here, guys, is my stop hunter setup, which you take after a news candle releases. So as soon as that news candle does that wick, that's the entry to take my stop hunter setup I teach you guys in a course. And then the second alternative actual value setup would be taking the IFVG short, because that's a new POI. It's just not the greatest setup in my personal opinion, just because the ranges are very small. I told the group also today, when you're trading, that the ranges are very small right now. It's not really too favorable, but obviously you're not going to be taking counter trends, right? Counter trend is going long here, so everyone's on the higher time frame thinking we're bullish, but that's just not true. Remember, every single time frame has its own trends, so that's something you need to keep in mind, because if you don't keep that in mind, you're gonna find yourself basically buying high when everyone is selling to buy lower. That makes sense. So you got to know when to use which situation, and that's what I teach you guys in the course. Otherwise, like I said, you're going to be part of the 90% that fail in trading. It's not necessarily because there's psychology. Psychology is one thing, reason why people fail, but if you don't have a working strategy, your psychology is not going to help you. And I think a lot of people also have bad psychology because their strategy doesn't work. So if your strategy doesn't have an edge or doesn't work, your psychology by nature is going to be worse, because you're going to be taking a lot more losses, your risk reward is going to be off, and overall you're going to face a lot more losing streaks. So that's definitely something you guys need to take into consideration when it comes to trading, and understanding that edge first, psychology second. I don't teach too much in the course about psychology, because to me, if you have a really good system, your psychology naturally will be much better. Trust me guys when I say this, but that's like one of the reasons why my psychology has gotten so much better ever since I started trading, and it's because I found an edge. It's hard to have bad psychology when you have a 65% win rate at 3 risk reward. It's much easier to have bad psychology if you're trading at 40% win rate at only a 1-to-1, right? Because even if you follow all your rules, you're going to end red. So that should make sense to all of you guys. If it doesn't make sense, you might need more experience in trading to realize that. But a lot of people realize this fact too late, and that's why they take like 10 years. Not 10 years, but that's a hyperbole. Like 2 to 5 years to even see some type of results, just to come to that conclusion. So I'm telling you guys, I'm saving you guys by you listening to what I just said there. I'm saving you guys literally 5 years of time. So just follow the roadmap. I basically just generalized for you guys there. And yeah, just focus on edge first. Then you can psychology is a later issue. There's no really point in reading psychology books, in my personal opinion. They don't really help too much. I used to read them all the time. Was unprofitable. It's just a lot of it is common sense that you already know. You already know you're over trading. You already know you over leverage. You already know you're gambling. So it's just like, the books are just re-emphasizing reinforcing what you already knew about yourself. You just didn't want to admit the fact that the books it's the truth. You still do the same mistakes. So until you fix that habit of doing the same mistakes, you're going to keep losing. So don't think that time is going to make you profitable, because it's not. It's just not how it works. There's people unprofitable for like 8 years. Whether or not that's true or false, I don't know. You can look on Reddit. I remember reading some of the posts when I was still unprofitable, and it scared me a lot. But I realized there was a huge disconnect here, or there's no relation between time in trading and how well you truly do. Someone trading with good guidance, a right strategy and edge from the beginning will become profitable in a year, versus someone that does not have the right guidance and trades probably something trash, can take like 5-6 years. So it's not about the time on the charts, guys. It's not. You're going to need some level of time, of course, for screen time for the base. But once you have that base screen time on a specific strategy, it's game over from there. It's cookies. It's game over. Because then you become essentially the casino instead of the player. If you guys don't know, like for example, just counting cards is an edge at casinos. So if you count cards correctly, you use those probabilities in your favor. I think it's like a 1% edge. I remember someone here in the chat used to play poker professionally, so you probably know a bit more than me. But essentially, it's just a tiny edge you get over the house, and you come out green. So that's the same thing you should view trading. After commissions and fees and spread, if you're trading Forex, or basically spread or slippage, whatever you want to call it. If you have a good edge, you come out green, and that's all you really need. You don't need some 100% win rate system. You don't need a 90% win rate system. I think if you have a good balance between your risk reward and your win rate, I think that's all you need really to become profitable. Last thing is just patience, waiting for your setups and not chasing bad trades. If you're forcing bad trades, you're not really trading your system, are you? Unless you did the back testing on those bad trades, and those bad trades were part of your edge. If that's the case, they're not bad trades anymore. Those are trades that are actually within your system. It's just very hard to code a robot also for someone that trades mechanical. There's a few things that are just very hard to mechanically identify in code. You can, if I teach you it like mechanically, like through the screen, you can mechanically determine it just using eyesight or a human. I don't even know what the right word is for that, but you guys get the point. How the human brain is very complex. Code is not so the case. It's very straightforward, and unless you can give it something that's very straightforward, it's gonna have a really hard time mimicking that in the live market when you execute it. So I'm still currently working on my trading robot algorithm. The back test and everything show good results. It's profitable. The only thing right now I'm facing is basically latency between the executions, because I trade on the 1 minute for those that don't know. So if you have a webhook that gets sent to a third party and then it gets sent to your broker, there's a delay between the execution time. And if the execution time delay, if it's even like a 5 seconds is a huge difference. Okay, so if it's even like a 5-second difference, it can make a strategy unprofitable. If you guys don't know, like firms that do high frequency trading, that's not what I do, but firms that do that, they spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on the best technology because they're looking for speed. So speed is extremely important when it comes to executions for any big firm, because they likely don't have an insane edge for the capital size. Therefore, speed is crucial. If you're trading retail on a small account, your speed of execution is not really going to be a main factor. This is mainly for people with really big accounts or that trade with algorithms that take latency time between sending the alert to take the trade setup versus actually executing it on the broker and looking for the liquidity. I should probably move the chart here. Hold on, because you guys can't see the chart. I just realized something on the right. All right, so got the OB entry model here. Let me check real quick. I should be in this trade. Yeah, I'm tagged into this trade right now, guys. I'm in shorts right now. All right, let me close out of that. So if you took the original IFEG, you could have scalped, or you can still hold this short, right? Like I said, I was waiting for my OB entry model because I missed the initial movement here. I was actually looking for originally the 5-minute to tap here, but we do have a 15-minute valid buy to sell here. So this is not like a bad PY to take a trade off of. And so I just had to wait for the OB entry model, but it gave it to us. I'm currently in this short. My target's the lows right now, so this is my OB entry model. My stop loss is obviously give it some breathing room above the high or low, and my TP right now is here for this word. So we'll see how this trade plays out, but it's a good setup in my opinion because it's pro trend, right? It's pro trend. Unless the only reason why this would fail here would just be if we actually hit the 1 hour, as in on NQ. So if NQ did hit the 1 hour here, this could be like a PY SMT. That would be the only reason from a technical trading standpoint that this trade would go higher. Because from what else I see here, this is a 5-minute fractal stop hunter. And the 5-minute we reacted off a 5-minute demand. This is going to be either your mitigation cycle to go higher if we had SMT here with NQ. Otherwise, this is a mitigation of just the OB entry model to go lower. So that's how I'm seeing this trade right now. We'll see how it plays out and works. But yeah. You can TP. I'm only going to have my TP set to low. I don't think I'm going to go for anything further. We are kind of late in the day. Volume is going to be a little bit slower. We are, let's see. I don't think we're back at 50% at all. We are not back at 50% at all. 50% is down here. So we can anticipate price to come down here at some point. It's not going to happen today. This is still a solid move. Don't think it's gonna happen today. But I am aware that there's a 1 hour mitigated, but I think that 1 hour is a little too big. We should be able to ideally go for this 30-minute PY, as you can see right below the 1 hour right here. So that's kind of the demand I'm looking for if you did want to take scalps going long. Otherwise, I'm kind of shorting basically down towards that 30-minute there. So if you want, I can mark this out for you guys too. But for those that are in the course, you already know how I trade this. So that's the 30-minute initial mitigation there. You can basically, here, I'm gonna actually draw a 30-minute for y'all. I could have just the indicator do it too. So if you guys want access to the PY indicator, that includes all of this stuff, everything I use on an intraday basis to help me assist my trading, to help it make it more automated. It saves me a lot of time, so I don't have to manually mark out stuff or manually do a lot of things. Highly recommend you guys check out the ETU indicator package. It's just only $49 a month. You get access to everything, all the indicators I use on a daily basis. So 30-minute, you can mark it based on wick to wick. That's the 30-minute here. We'll see if this holds. I might go check NQ actually to see if NQ hit the 1 hour demand. Let's see, prices reacting off of this low that made that new high. So that's why we're getting this pullback here. I think I'm personally going to keep this trade running. If you want to move to break even, you can. Both entry models, your break even point is going to be different. If you take the IFEG with the indicator, it's going to be a little bit earlier. If you took the OB entry model that I told you guys earlier I was looking for, your break even is farther away. But I think I'm just gonna set and forget this one because we should be good to go lower. If we go to the 30-minute, did I miss this marking for the 1 hour by a tick? It's hard to tell. I don't think it hit. It's hard to tell. There's going to be these small differences at times that will affect your trading, but it's probabilities. I'm aware that right now, this is going to be future inducement. At some point, we will go higher to take out this inducement on the 15-minute to go into the 15-minute supply to go lower. So my anticipation here is basically for us to make a new internal lower low on the 15-minute, and we'll see. But if you wanted to go for the 5-minute to go lower, then that's okay too. It's been like about an hour and a half. We're kind of in this like kind of mini consolidation here. Price hasn't moved too much. But yeah, break-even management, how you want to manage this short here is up to you. It got close to TP, but it did not, so I'm not gonna deviate from my trading plan. This is going to be my last trade of the day because I don't think there's anything else I really would be interested in taking today. I try not to trade outside of my kill zone for most of the times. Like, there's no way I could have really caught this short here with how I trade. And then same with this short, you might have caught depending on where you put your stop loss. But in terms of the way I trade, would not be taking this trade here. And this would be the correct way to take this would be this. Had a 6-hour day yesterday trading ES. And then I have to check on the monthly stats, but we should be above 50 risk reward now monthly, or this month. But yeah, for those that are in the course now, if you want to just redeem the trading journal and then start like filling that out, so others can see your progress, trades you take, I think you'll help out everyone in the group, especially if those are new and they're kind of confused. Maybe it will help out them to see what they're doing right or wrong. Check NQ actually. I think this is an SMT internally. NQ. So there is an SMT here on NQ. 1236, 106. 1236, 106. Yeah. Basically, NQ did not take out this low here. This is where you would like use a stop loss reduction method to save yourself, because this is like a 1 tick stop out, as you can see. So on NQ, this would not be inducement. So this is where it gets tricky, guys, right? Because on NQ, this is not inducement, but on ES, this is inducement. We have 75% of people ending today green. That's good to see. See, the trade ran about 2.8 risk reward. Not to the full target. If you went break even, it hit you break even there. There would be no shorts on NQ. So if I was trading NQ, there would be no shorts I'll be taking, because this is an inducement. On NQ, you'd be looking for this to the upside here, to this 5 minute, and then you can try to see if you get a short there. But then you want to keep in mind, wait, 15 minute, this is not inducement. So it's not inducement on NQ for 15 minute. This is why I usually don't like to look at both charts too often. You'll get confused because on certain charts something's going to be inducement, on other charts it's not going to be inducement. The 15 minute here is not inducement on NQ because it mitigated, while on ES the 15 minute is inducement. Don't really like this mitigation here. Did we come back to 50%? I don't think we did. Might have just barely hit it. It got real close. And then if you want to be more greedy on the target, you can hold for the 30-minute here. But I think I'm gonna just hold for the 4R, and I'll be calling it a day here, up 7 today. It's either gonna be I'm up 7 or I'm up only 2 risk reward today. That's basically how I view my trading. Individual trading stats don't matter. What matters is someone sent a message. What matters is really your net results from month to month. You can have like a red 2 days, or you can have like a red week, maybe. It's pretty rare to have a red week trading my system because it's a really high EV. But if you're trading like a very bad strategy there's no bad strategy that doesn't work or that does work. Just a mediocre strategy, it's definitely a lot easier to have like a red week. I'm still in this trade currently. For those that went break even, you probably got stopped out right there to the tick. We'll see if this trade wants to go my direction or not. Here, the reason why I reacted there is very straightforward. It's just a stop on our setup to go to the upside if price wants to go to the upside. Just right here. So switching to time frames, you can fractally understand the market. And there's majority of moves in the market, there's an explanation as to why they occur. And if you learn the reasons to why each market movement occurs in the market, it's a lot easier to develop an edge. Otherwise, if you're trading off like stars and moons, some BS is not gonna work. Looking good for us right now. We had an inverse. We have to break through this demand here. If we break through that demand here, we should be going for these lows here. Yes, it fixed itself later, but I saw some candles missing. It's weird. Oh, he's just asking about prop firm. I wonder, let's see if NQ did have an S&T about the highs. It did. So you can see NQ is going higher, while ES is going lower. Why is NQ going higher? Because it has a bullish SMT where it did not make a lower low, while ES did make that lower low. See, there's explanations for a lot of things that occur in the market. What that means right now is if NQ has a SMT here, if NQ's SMT holds, meaning it goes higher, or sorry, if NQ goes lower off that its sweep, ES there's a pretty high chance it's going to go for our TP here. If NQ does not hold and breaks through the high and continues going higher for the PY I was talking about earlier above, ES is going to go for, likely it's going to be at the 5-minute or even at this inducement here. So that's how I see it. But that's like kind of overcomplicating it. And I prefer just focusing on one thing at a time for the most part. So if you're going to trade NQ, trade NQ. If you're going to trade ES, trade ES. Try not to like bounce back and forth too often. There'll be a few times where I've tried trading NQ, but I like trading ES. So NQ does not seem like it wants to sweep. That means ES is likely to go higher. It's probably going to go for an inducement above. We'll see. %80% of people ended green today. Nice. Okay, we don't know what that was, but looks normal. Remember the last two trades or two losing trades I took that later became winners was because of Trump talking. I don't think he, well, you just never know with him, honestly. There's the new stablecoin bill that got signed like 30 minutes ago. New tariff news, that was a while ago at 12:22. It didn't really do much to the market. This is like normal movement here. So sometimes what he says will change the technicals. Other times it doesn't. Again, if you guys are new here, you're not in the Discord, click the link in the chat. It has a link to the free Discord. You join up and I'll have the giveaway details later released. So if you don't want to miss the free giveaway, join the Discord and then you'll get access to the giveaway, how to enter the giveaway details later. And then of course, if you're interested in a course or mentorship or indicators, those are all on the WAP website. If you want to check those out. I removed the private trading journal as an individual thing. Kind of felt like it was too many things. And I kind of wanted to simplify the process to help you guys become profitable. So I decided to say, I'm just going to throw the trading journal in with the advanced course. So again, this applies to either you bought the course in the past or you plan on buying the course. Both ways, you'll get access to the private trading journal. NQ's next mitigation is still higher for the 5 minute right there. What the heck? That looks weird. My tripping of these two candles look weird. Anyway. There's like a lot of ways. I've been looking into this. I haven't released this information to the course yet because I think you don't need this But another way you can do with the break-even system is if you break even here, let's say you know from your trades that a lot of your trades you get wicked at break even for it to go in your direction. What you can do is essentially when it wicks the first time, you don't move to break even, but then once you get that nice reaction, you move to break even. So does that make sense, y'all? So like for example here, once you got that nice reaction, you can move your stop to break even here. This doesn't mean that if price does go higher here, it's gonna go for these highs, but it's a higher chance. So like for example, you have different opportunities to basically break even in your trades. Wiley Manning, thanks for the sub. We've been in this trade for like 30-ish minutes by now. Usually you want to take trades where the ranges are not like choppy like this. You kind of want to take trades when you get bigger ranges like this. But of course, like long here is counter trend, right? I was telling everyone in the Discord, for those that just joined, that today I was looking at around 10:06. I'm just said I'm seeing a lot of downside today. So wasn't really interested in taking longs today. If you're taking longs, you better be scalping. But me personally, I don't do too much scalping. I trade like a balance between risk reward and win rate. My average risk reward is 3 to 4, and then my win rate is around 65%. But this is the reason, if you're wondering why I was looking at the downside and why I told the group to look for basically shorts today. But yeah, definitely one mistake for me today, taking this trade. I didn't know there's news at 10 a.m. Otherwise, for sure, never be in a trade if there's news at 10 a.m. Especially if it's red folder, you basically just don't want to. Unless you're on a demo account or if you're trading funded, then it's up to you. You probably shouldn't get slipped much in those environments. But on a live environment, it's a lot easier to get slipped. You either get slipped for double your loss, or you get what happens to me where somehow my stop loss got removed. It filled me up here, go short, and then my stop loss disappeared. Because usually in futures you have your entry, and then you have your stop, and then your limit, which is where you TP. So my stop order just disappeared. I don't know, it was kind of weird. It could have been a glitch, honestly, on my end. Maybe I needed to refresh my charts, but it disappeared on my phone, which is very weird. So there's a second opportunity to break even. If you don't have too much high conviction in this trade, you can just, move your stop to break even here. These are situations where, I'm not going to TP here. If I want to scalp, I would TP here or here too. It's not a bad TP. It's just, to me, if I'm looking for lower pricing, my TP is going to be down here instead of at this internal. If we reverse off this internal, which we are doing right now, and we do go higher, it just means this SMT held here, since NQ never took out the low. Let's go back on NQ though, because I know a lot of you guys trade NQ, so we can go back on NQ. But if I'm trying to trade and I see this, it's not horrible consolidation. Horrible consolidation would be if you're not in a trade already, this is not crazy bad. There's sometimes you get really bad consolidation like this. This is pretty bad. Don't really want to be taking too many trades in this environment. This isn't horrible here, but you can see when I get really nice trades that go to TP very fast, it's almost always when we have a very nice range. So, for example, let's go back to yesterday. Like, you guys can see there's a big difference between price delivery here. Look how clean this range is here compared to what you just saw. Clean ranges, clean expansion. This is my OB entry model here off the 30 seconds. I just waited for the reaction, took it. And then the POC hit. This is my internal stop hunter setup as a continuation. And I waited for more confirmation in this case for the OB entry model. Otherwise, you take it right here with no confirmation needed because you're looking for higher pricing. And then the rest of the day, you can clearly see we went to all-time highs. I was calling yesterday to the group as well for the course members that I was looking for all-time highs. So it did ultimately get hit. We ran quite a bit past all-time highs. I believe this is all-time highs here. Yeah. So we ran quite a bit past all-time highs here yesterday. So I did miss out on a lot on my trade. Or the market closed. So the market closed before that. So it basically hit all-time highs, and when 80 session opened, it went higher. So yeah, I didn't optimize too well on this day. It should have been a 12 risk reward or a 7 or 8, 9 risk reward day. I only came up with a 6 risk reward day. Not complaining about that, but I like to build more buffer when it comes to trading, because sometimes you're gonna have bad days where you can like potentially go on tilt, and when you have like big green days, it really helps with those days that you struggle. So for sure here, did not do the best here. In terms of managing my trade for my TP, it could have been much further. Much further. I walked away at this point once I did TP there for a 3 sword on this day. And then you had a nice short off 30 minute, and then you had just a long as a continuation to the upside. So there's tons of ways you could have traded. Tons and tons of ways. We have 83% of people ending green today. 83% ending green. Bro, price action before New York Stock Exchange opened just looks horrendous on indices. This looks awful. And then here, if you're wondering why I went lower here today, it's very straightforward. We mitigated this 1 minute here. Actually, I think we missed it. This was on the 4 hour? Or no, I think it was the 1 hour I was looking at. Yeah, so it was the 1 hour. So think about time frames fractally. On the 1 hour, this is just my OB entry model to take shorts. So if you're someone that wants to trade my system with the swing trading strategy I teach in the course as well, this would be your limit entry, and then your TP can just be whatever you want down here. Many different ways of trading, guys. I wouldn't recommend trading on the seconds unless you've traded on seconds in the past, because it's not ideal. you better be quick on your hands. You better be able to, if you're gonna trade seconds and scalp, you better be able to learn how to take losses in terms of their psychological standpoint very fast. So that's like one of the downsides to trading on the seconds, which is you take winners fast, but you also lose very fast. And you got to just basically keep your emotions in check pretty quickly when those occur, or when that happens. Let's go back to NQ. Yeah, it's just moving really slow. What trades did you guys take today? We have 5 people that ended green. Is that right? Yeah, we got 5 people that entered green. So aside from Sato-san, what other trades did you guys take today? Gold shorts. Nice. Let's see what gold looked like today. Oh man. How do I have 170 drawings? I don't even see 170. Anyway. Oh, I probably have them hidden. Looking at gold. We hit 4-hour supply. If you refine it, you're fine to the 15-minute. Looks very clear. So you'd be taking shorts here essentially out the 15-minute and 5-minute. And then let's see. So there's a few setups on gold. There's obviously the shorts that worked out. There's also a mitigation cycle you could have traded. This is off this PY here. And then you just have an IFUG or an OB entry model here. And then your TP, you can keep it conservative. You TP there, and then you take another short here. You can TP at the internal low, or if you go to the higher time frame, find something else. But like I said, the further away you go past external highs and lows, the less likely it's going to hit those points before it potentially hits your stop loss. So just something to keep in mind. And then the rest of the day, gold looks pretty... Not much else here rest of the day on gold. Bro, I'm telling y'all, I don't know what it is, but New York session, like kills on highs and lows, works just so well all the time. Like I've seen this happen so many times where we get a nice reversal off of the highs and lows of New York session. It's kind of weird. Usually people would assume like the previous sessions, but even with the current session, it works well. All right, I'm gonna end the stream, guys, here. A lot of people entered green today, so it's good to see 6 out of 7 people entered green. And then on the short here, it depends on whether or not you're still in it or if you just went break even. Here's the short, or if you just TP'd. I usually go for further TPs on my trades, but this is completely up to you how you want to manage the short here. It's really just consolidating right now. I just don't see much. There's not much like price action reading here, to be fair. It's just creating internal block flow. If you want to go in the seconds, it hit the 15 second OB. But yeah, I'm probably going to close this manually if we don't really get much momentum, because the market's going to close in an hour. I usually like to have my positions closed pretty before then, preferably. Like, yeah, I usually just don't trade during this time too often. And then I'll see just today, in terms of emotion wise, not a good day for me. Even though I ended green, should never have taken this limit order short here. I just had such a clear draw today. Told you guys to the group that I was looking for downside today on ES, that I kind of FOMO'd here with the limit order here instead of waiting more patiently for the stop hunter, because stop hunter would have given me, I would have had a potential chance to make more. But yeah, that was a news orange folder news candle wick, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna end this session here, man. If you guys have any questions, feel free to join the free Discord to ask away. Again, I'm hosting a free session for everybody in Discord tomorrow. It's likely going to be at 8 p.m. EST. That's what I wrote, I believe. Let me check. Yeah. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. EST. If you want to be there, it's free. Not charging anything. I'm going to be going over my trades I've taken this week. If I get the time to fill out that board. Mara board, and then we'll go over any questions you guys have for me, whether you're a course member or if you're just free member in the Discord. So someone else pinged me here. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna head out here in a few seconds. Again, I'm probably gonna mainly close this trade in a bit. It's just consolidating on us, not gonna do much. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Peace.